Well, greetings. It's been a little while since I've last recorded. I've been a little busy, not really had a lot of time to do recording, and been trying to think some things over. It was kind of brought to my attention that while the Hardcore Dwarf Mode series was a fun concept, and it's definitely fun to play, it's not all that entertaining to watch because there's not going to be that much of changing scenery. It's pretty boring, really, once it gets down to it. And you know, I was having some issues with episode length. They kept getting longer and longer, and not really any good way of cutting it down other than speeding through things, especially with wanting to record everything at once. So I'm going to put that on hold for now. I may go back to it at some point. I've still got the save game in the world, and I haven't touched it since the last time I left off recording. But I wanted to do some TerraFirmaCraft. This is a total conversion mod that I've played around with for a while now, a few months, and it really does some great things with the way survival runs. Now, I'm not really personally a fan of the things like the Tech-It or Technic or the new Feed the Beast compilation that brings all these things together, that even though they're more complex, they really in the end make your game a whole lot easier. It's all about automating a bunch of tasks and giving you all kinds of additional advantages and stuff that really just takes a game that's become fairly easy and makes it even easier. TerraFirmaCraft is pretty much the opposite. You spend a lot of time in the Stone Age. Finding metals is actually a significant step in advancing. There's many stages of metalcraft you have to go through, building upon each other. There's a whole, I mean, there's so many differences, and you really should just check it out if it's something that interests you. TerraFirmaCraft.com. I love this mod, and so I'm going to start a new game. Now I've decided I am gonna stick with the hardcore because it is still continually in development. So there are going to be times in the future when terrain generation has changed and things like that, which would really benefit from generating a new world. So the hardcore mode gives kind of some incentive there, but still, in the game that I was playing with an earlier build, I had gone through over a year in game time and had not had a single death. So I was pretty fairly established, and we'll see how this goes. I'm not going to be doing the dwarf mode thing. I'm gonna, you know, I'll have it above ground setups and, you know, farms and tree farms and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it won't spawn me in the middle of the ocean or on an island or somewhere. One of the really nice things is that this actually has different climates and associated biomes, and so the further north or south you go, the colder it gets. And you know, it has its tropical regions and equatorial regions, and it's really nice the way it does things. Oh wow! So the first thing I'm going to do is run around, and you're not wanting to punch trees. You're wanting to pick up rocks and punch leaves. Now, one thing you'll notice right away is that you can actually move through the leaves. Ouch. But breaking leaves is how you get sticks. Let me just go ahead and get a few sticks here. This should be sufficient. Looks like I am right on the edge of an ocean. Alright, well, we'll start here with 3 rocks. Now then, you put 2 rocks together, Click it, and now you got this nice little napping interface where you're actually doing some stone napping, and you make the shape of the tool head that you want, in this case an axe, and there you go. And go ahead and make another one. And then you just take that, stick it on a stick, and you got a couple axes. Another thing they did with this mod, is trees take a lot longer to cut through the logs, but fortunately it does. When you cut out one log, it drops every one above it, and you're going to notice it just took out that entire axe cutting down that tree, because it deals durability damage to the tool used to cut down the tree for every single log harvested, not just the one you cut through. Dirt takes a lot longer to get through, and I should have gone ahead and made a shovel. And there's some other things which, so you see I've got a couple of dirt blocks here. Go ahead and knock this one out. I want to get all these logs. You may notice that they're only stacking up to 16. There's things stack in a lot smaller stacks for the most part. And yeah, so let's see here. Let's put some sand down. Oh, look at that. Stuff landslides in this. Sand and dirt are gravity blocks that not only will they fall down, but they will cascade down inclines and whatnot if they don't have enough support behind them. So I need to keep on moving, getting around here. Go ahead and harvest these reeds, because they're going to be very useful once I get around to actual smithing, which is a whole process in and of itself, and we'll get to. This is a game that when you first start out, you want to basically keep the wiki open in a background window, because there's just so much. You see there's different types of dirt. I mean, there's, especially with all the different patterns of stone napping. Oh, well, let's see here. I found some mudstone. I was working with some siltstone. These different types of stones that you find have make different durability of tools. And let's see, there's some squid down here. I'm gonna eventually need some ink sacs, so I might as well make myself a knife. Now I'm holding down shift right now so that I don't get all the extra stuff that I don't need. There you go, got a stone knife, head, knife blade, put that on a stick. Go kill some squids here. Mobs have a lot more health. Instead of your standard 20 hit points that the player has in vanilla Minecraft, you see I just have a discrete bar, which is, I think you have 1,000 hit points, but mobs deal a lot more damage, and to counteract that, I mean, it's still, especially once you get a bit into the game, it's kind of hard to die by mobs. It's more a matter of surviving, real survival. You know, you got your green bar there is your hunger, and the blue bar beneath it is actually water. When you're sprinting, you drain your water resources, or your hunger determines, you know, how easily you can heal, but you heal a lot slower than in normal Minecraft, which you can somewhat accelerate when you go to sleep. I really wish they'd fix these lighting bugs. But you certainly want to, especially on your first day. I shouldn't have been using that. Collect as many stones as you can. I'm going to go ahead and get some food here. And then I just realized I don't have any more sticks because I didn't spend enough time whacking at the branches. But there's some really nice terrain that gets generated. You have some fairly distinct biomes with the different tree types, and there's a bunch of different types of wood and different types of stone and different types of ores. And it's just there's a lot to explore in this game, a lot to find. One thing I'll show you here. If you notice, my Y coordinate is 146. There's a lot more ground beneath sea level than there is in vanilla Minecraft. You don't have 64 layers from sea level going on down to bedrock, and then the remainder above going up to the sky limit. You actually start closer to the sky limit. I think sea level is 144. So, that gives you an extra 80 blocks of underground. There's no nether or any of that. A lot of the vanilla recipes just simply do not work. Of course, there are some ways. Actually, this is the first time I'm playing in this build, but I know in older builds there were ways where you could, for instance, you could get an old-fashioned cobblestone generator set up and make cobblestone tools out of them. I don't know if that has been fixed yet in this build or not. But I mean, there was, for a time, mobs like zombies and skeletons would have their rare loot drops like iron ingots and whatnot, which could let you craft vanilla stuff, but that's been adjusted. Their loot tables have been changed. So you may still, occasionally see a zombie wandering around with a shovel or whatnot, but he's not going to drop it. I haven't actually tried seeing if they will pick up items. I assume they will. Alright, let me go ahead and make this knife. And I'll show you an example. I need to get some wool so I can make a bed at some point. See how long it actually takes. It takes a good number of hits to actually kill the sheep there. Oh, and one of the really nice things. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's go ahead and make 4 javelins. It's your basic ranged weapon of the Stone Age. It's rather convenient. They deal a lot of damage. They were actually recently reduced in the amount of damage they deal. One of the nice things is the way they work on your hotbar. If you have the rightmost one on your hotbar selected, it will use the ones further to the left on it. So you can keep firing from the same slot until you've actually run out of javelins. And you can see that you can actually pick them back up. They have a random chance of breaking on use. And sometimes they have a little funky glitching when they land into the blocks, but I've got 3. So I'm good with that for right now. Let's see here. I need to be on a lookout for a place to set up and call home. You notice these javelins actually don't take durability damage when you use them as ranged. They just have the random chance of breaking, but if you use them as a melee weapon, they will take durability. And it looks like we've got some wild veggies out here. What do we get? Oh, we got a cabbage. Those can be used to make meals with. And I got some cabbage seeds too. Mr. Piggy, I need some pork. And mobs drop a lot more meat because it's a lot more difficult to breed them. Oh yeah, and pigs actually drop leather because, pigskin. It's a type of leather. Things are about to get a little nasty with the sun setting, and I still haven't found myself shelter or any of that niceness. Collect this. Now there is actually, since there's not a way to make enchanting tables, so you're not going to be making enchanted items, but XP does actually serve a purpose. As you level, you actually become stronger. You gain more health and durability, you take less damage, so even though you can't spend your XP on leveling up, enchanting gear, you actually just passively level up and become stronger. I really need to, at the very least, I think I'm gonna come over here and make myself a little hidey hole for the night. Let's see if I can make a shovel quickly. What? Oh, it must be upside down. Wait, wow, that's a little odd. And if you make a mistake while you're doing your flint knapping, you wasted a stone. Yeah, there we go. It is directional. Forgot about that. But there we go. Shovel. Clear out a little bit here. You have to be careful, and because of course with the way dirt being a gravity block, you can't just build yourself a little dirt house. You've actually gotta build a real shelter. I don't want to use logs because they take so long to knock down. So, but you can use an axe in your inventory, crafting table with logs to create planks. And these are actually individual planks that you then put together to make your plank blocks, which you can then make your crafting table with. And I don't remember if there's a spider.